Hello, my fellow YouTube viewers and duelists all around the world. Well, parts of the world. I know my channel isn't very popular at the moment. You know, so if you're like in a hut somewhere, for some reason you have Wi-Fi, internet, I don't know where I'm going with this, so thank you for tuning in. It's time for another deck profile, and this time it's on a deck that I've had a lot of success with, my Dark World deck. First off, before I forget, because I always forget, look at the sleeves. The sleeves. The Grapha sleeves. Like, why does Grapha remind me of a demonic Bowser? Does anyone else see that, or am I just... I don't know. Anyway. Alright, so let's start the deck profile off with the Big Daddy himself, Grapha, Dragon Lord of the Dark World. All the Dark World cards basically have effects from when they get sent to the graveyard by card effects. You can special summon this card from your graveyard by returning a face-up Dark World monster you control to the hand. That's awesome. You can basically send him to the grave by a lot of means in this deck. Summon any Dark World card you want, and then you can special summon Grapha right there and then. 2700 attack monster. If this card is discarded to the graveyard by a card effect, target one card your opponent controls and destroy that target. So he's pretty good. He wipes some problem things off the field for you, and then he can special summon himself from the grave. He's good stuff. And he helps with our rank 8 plays. I play 3 Snow Unlights of Dark World. Not to be confused with President Snow from the Hunger Games. Bad joke inserted. We've met our quota for the video now. Basically, when this card is discarded from the hand to the grave, you can search any Dark World card from your deck to your hand. It's good stuff. It's your searcher. It helps get your plays going, and it's a Dark World card, and Dark Worlds are cool. So yeah. I play 3 Brow, Huntsman of the Dark World. When he's discarded by a card effect, you can draw 1 card. So he helps with your draw power, but we have a lot of that in this deck, but he helps out. I play 1 Beige, Vanguard of the Dark World. When he's discarded, he special summons himself to your side of the field, kind of like Falco. For the 1-ofs, I play the tuner in the deck, Fabled Raven. Basically, he can modulate his level by discarding any number of cards from your hand, and then he gets attack equal to the number of discarded cards times 400. So he can be a big beater if you want him to. He can be fuel for synchro summons. He's a pretty good all-around card. The only thing I don't like about him is he's light. Why you do this, boss? I play the all-powerful Tour Guide and Skarm combo to search each other out. I play Fiendish Rhino. When he's sent to the grave, he sends another Fiend monster from the deck to the grave. For the cards that people don't see coming, I play 1 Dark Necrofear. Necrofear is one of my favorite cards in the game, and since everything in the deck is Fiend, why not play her? I play 1 Dad, because Dad is also one of my favorite cards, and these two are actually some of my oldest cards that I own. I've had Dark Arm Dragon for about 8 years. I got him from one of my good friends. Dark Necrofear I've had for a long time. Probably since I was in middle school. I can't even tell you where or when I got this card, but I've had him for a very long time, and they'll always be in my collection. I play 2 Malefic Stardust Dragon. This card just helps with the rank 8 engine, and basically it's easy to summon out. All you need to have is Stardust Dragon in your extra deck, and do we have that in here? Oh, look at that! We have 2. Interesting. It's almost like I planned it out that way. The only problem with this is you have to have your field card on board, or else he immediately gets destroyed. So, on to the magic cards. I play 3 said field card, Gates of the Dark World. This card is really, really good, in my opinion. All Fiend-type monsters gain 300. Awesome. Once per turn, you can banish a Fiend-type monster from your grave, then discard a Fiend-type monster, and then draw 1 card. This is really good stuff. So, basically, when you discard a Fiend-type monster, its effect goes off if it's a Dark World card. Then you get to draw 1 card. And banishing a Fiend-type monster is good in this deck because we will recycle some of those banished cards. but this card is great for consistency. I play the one of Dark World Lightning. Basically, you target a set card in the field and destroy that card, then you discard one card, so you get another Dark World effect off. I play 3 Dark World Dealings. This is also, we have a lot of draw power in this deck. A lot, and we will get into exactly how much. Dark World Dealings is a really good card, and it can be good in almost any deck. Each player draws one card, then each player discards a card. Again, you're going to get your Dark World effect from this. Then we play 3 Hand Destruction. Each player sends 2 cards from their hand to the graveyard, then each player draws 2 cards. This is very important. This card does not get your Dark World effects off. Keep that in mind. But when in conjunction with a card that I will show you later, you'll see why we play so many of these. I play 1 Day of Peace. Each player draws 1 card, and then your opponent does not take damage until their next turn. End of their next turn. Now, if you notice a theme really quickly, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards that allow both you and your opponent to draw. Okay? I just want you to remember that. 7 cards. We used to have Chicken Game, but Chicken Game is now banned. I play 1 Raigeki, 1 Foolish Burial to get the effects off. I play 1 Shuffle Reborn. Shuffle Reborn is a really good card in this deck. If you control no monsters, you can target a monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but its effects are negated. Also, banish it during the end phase. Okay. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish it, then target a card you control and shuffle it into the deck, then you can draw 1 card. Then you have to banish a card from your hand at the end of the phase. This card is good for recycling Skill Drain. If you're using Skill Drain and you need to use an effect after you've wiped your opponent out, you Shuffle Reborn, you can send your Skill Drain back into your deck, and now your monsters can use their effects, and then you get to draw 1 card. Shuffle Reborn is pretty good. It's situational. But it's always good to be able to special summon a monster from the graveyard. I play 1 Allure of Darkness. I don't see a point in playing 2 with the way this deck is working. And now we'll get to the biggie one. I play 3 Appropriate. This card is genius. You can activate it when your opponent draws a card. So, with the 7 cards that we have that allow us and our opponent to draw, you can activate this card pretty easily. Every time your opponent draws a card, you draw 2. So when they max C, when you play Hand Destruction, Dark World Dealings, 1 Day of Peace, formerly Chicken Game, whenever they draw, you draw 2 cards. So you're going to get everything you need in your hand for the most part. Your deck is going to be flowing so smoothly. This is a really good card. And it just works so well in this deck. I mean, it just makes a deck like turbo, just... I don't know why I went to... But, you know... For the trap lineup, I play 1 Storming Mirror Force, 1 Skill Drain, because Skill Drain is broken in Dark Worlds. I play 2 Viruses. These 2 are very easy to use in this deck. Deck Devastation and Eradicator. Deck Devastation, you need a Dark Monster over 2,000, and Eradicator, you need 2,500 or more. Very easy to use both of these cards in this deck and strip your opponent of the cards that they're going to use. For the last tramp, we play 1 Time Space Trap Hole, because pendulums are annoying, and we send them back to the deck, and, you know, the hand or the extra deck, and we laugh like, yes, just like that. For my extra deck, I play 2 Lancelots. A level 8 XYZ, very easy to get out in this deck. Basically, when your opponent activates an effect or spell or trap card, you detach a material from this card and negate the activation. Now that's non-negotiable. That is a effect that activates no matter what. So as soon as your opponent plays a spell or trap, the effect activates, it gets negated. It's very tricky because they can basically bait you out and then play something they didn't really care about, and then play what they were intending on doing in the first place. This card can attack your opponent directly while it has material, that's good, and when this card inflicts battle damage, you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls and destroy it. So Lancelot is one of my favorite XCs, and he's just freaking cool. Like he reminds me of that guy from Bleach, the assistant captain to the head captain. He has the rip here, and he's like... I play one Sky Blaster Musketeer, because why not? I play one Levier the Sea Dragon. These two cards are, well, Levier is a really good card because basically you can recycle your banished cards from the Dark World of, from the Gates of Dark World, and that's basically what you use it for. Of course, I play the 2 Stardust Dragon for the play I showed earlier with the Maleficent Stardust Dragon. I play Ghost Trick Alucard and Ghost Trick Angel of Mischief. Really, I just play this for an oh shit kind of play for defense. This is what I use the Scarm and the tour guide for. Ghost Trick Angel of Mischief is pretty cool. She has a decent defense at 2500, and she'll basically recycle Ghost Trick Alucard when she gets destroyed. So now for the cards that I really like in this deck, these came out in the gold box. This is number 84, Pain Gainer, number 77, The Seven Sins. Interesting that he's number 77. You can summon Pain Gainer by overlaying Pain Gainer on top of a level 8. This card gains defense equal to the combined ranks of all Xyz monsters you control times 200. When this card has Xyz material, each time your opponent activates a spell or trap, inflicts 600 points of damage to your opponent, and once per turn you can detach an Xyz material from this card, destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls with defense less than or equal to this card. Not bad. To be honest, I really don't normally use Pain Gainer. What I do is I overlay the 7 Sins on top. But 7 Sins is a really cool card. It's a 4000 attack monster, but if you overlay it on top of Pain Gainer, you can't use the effect that same turn. But its effect is, once per turn you can detach 2 materials, banish as many special summon cards your opponent controls as possible, then attach one of those banished monsters to this card as material. If this face card in the field would be destroyed, you can detach an Xyz material from this card instead. So, it's a pretty damn good card. 4000 attack will get over all of the Kozmos except for Dark Planet now. You're basically going to kamikaze into it. And it's good stuff. And it's just cool. Like, it's like a robot spider. It's like bibbidi boop boop bibbidi boop. Ah! And then for my last extra deck card, I play Cubile. That's right, the Cubile from Zeta Gundam, Double Zeta Gundam. It's in a card. Konami, I like this. Make more Gundam cards. And in case you people don't think that this card looks like Cubile, or you have no idea what the Cubile is, look right here. And tell me that this card does not look like that. It even has the same patterns on the same sides, and just everything. It's just freaking awesome. They really need to make cards based off Gundam and make it into a deck, an archetype. I will buy that. Take all my money, Konami. Take it now. This card is a great card. 3000 attack. That's awesome. Take out those Kozmos, no problem. Once per turn, during either player's turn, when a spell card or effect is activated, you can negate that effect, and if you do, attach that card to this card as material. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can detach an Xyz material from this card, change the attack to this card, and perform damage calculation. If a face-up monster, XYZ monster you control is destroyed, you can target a face-up monster, XYZ monster you control, and it gains attack equal to that destroyed monster. Holy crap, that's a lot of effects, but it is a great card, and it's a Gundam. Well, it's not a Gundam, but it's from Gundam, and it's just cool. So, Cubile for the win. Hamankan's hot. I hope you enjoyed the deck profile. This deck has been very successful for me lately, but I've been playing my Shaddolls and Kozmos more. But it's a very good deck. It's a lot of fun. It's very fast, and the effects of Dark Worlds are just really cool. And I enjoy playing the hell out of it. So, I hope you enjoyed the deck profile. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Help a Raven out. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, Zig Zion! This deck has been very successful. Excuse me! Let's start a deck profile with the Big Daddy himself. Let's try that again. Let's start the deck profile off with the Big Daddy himself. And there goes my camera, like always.